Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going way better than fantastic. And your journey to self-betterment is going way better than fantastic as well. And, oh, sorry for being away for a few days. I had some important things to take care of, along with needing to decompress and relax. Please know, if you have suffered at the hands of a narcissist or narcissists, no matter if you grew up with them in your home, such as a mother, father, and or siblings, or if you were married or dated one, or even your boss at work, take time for yourself. Please, please, please. Taking time for yourself is important as it is. But when you live through such situations, your brain goes from racing like a race car to having the brakes slammed while at full speed on a regular basis. And then when you get out of that, your brain and your body needs rest. Careful and calculated rest. And what I mean by that is sleeping a regular amount of time. Setting your alarm so you don't sleep too much. Meaning you don't want to sleep your entire day away. Though there are times where you might make an exception and allow even more sleep time. Because most of us can experience exhaustion right out of the blue that can wreck our entire week or month. So make sure your rest time is there but carefully calculated and monitored so you don't fall into a slump, so to speak. Get up and go for a walk, read something enjoyable. Go and exercise. And make yourself a good meal. And have an enjoyable conversation with someone kind and nice if you can. All of these things are important to self-care and self-improvement. And it goes hand in hand with slowing things down. Slowing down our thoughts and reactions and emotions to things. Oh, and thanks to the subscriber that provided a recommend on a video on slowing things down. I will be checking it out soon. But really, we have to teach ourselves these important things. And if our brain is constantly in that mode of going a million miles a minute, then having the brakes slammed over and over and over again, it gets to become a big problem. And if we don't handle things for not just our health's sake, we might still be susceptible to being caught up with another narcissist in our life. Which in my humble cartoon opinion is right where the top narcissists in society want you to and me to be. Which leads me to the topic of this important video. The top people that are narcissists in society. They have truly turned society upside down. And I was thinking about this after going over the comments on my last video, Narcissism and Gifts, where we talked about not only the love bombing aspect of things, but how normal or non-narcissists are expected to participate in this gift-giving Olympics, and if you don't match up, you are considered to be a loser by society's standards. This has now become the norm. Even though we know it's wrong. And they know it's wrong. You are no longer looked at or judged on the content of your character, but the gift that you are able to give another person. But here's the problem with all of that. How do narcissists impress people? As one subscriber mentioned, that narcissists can be good gift givers. And that is true. Depending on who you are to them and what their motive is at the time. As an example, while going through family court, my mother literally charged every toy known to man for my brother and myself. We lived in a poor home. And in a poor part of town. But my mother bought us everything. However, once she got what she wanted, which was full custody, and then soon after my father died, and my mother burned through my father's money, her gifts were not only terrible within regards to cost, but mainly in her thought to what she gave us. I remembered another subscriber mentioned a few videos back that his narcissist parent or parents gave them gifts that really didn't match his interests or likes. It was like they were just generic nothing gifts that made no sense. And I can relate. I remember again my mother buying my brother and I every toy we could ever want and like. But then by the time I reached junior high and high school, she was buying me high water pants and items I had little to no interest in, regardless of the cost. You see, my mother charged up her cards to buy my brother and I every toy known to man when we were little. Not because she wanted to see us happy, but because she wanted to love bomb us into siding with her in family court against my father. And as a subscriber mentioned, narcissists use gifts to keep people in line, all the way down to the flying monkeys. And my mother did just that. So much so, even when my mother was buying me things that didn't match my likes and that just didn't make sense, my mother would go out of her way for a flying monkey she might have had to, yes, buy an inexpensive gift, because she didn't have a lot of money. But she would take her time to buy the most thoughtful gift she could. Or she would bake a cake for them or make a super tasty meal for them. All things that would love bomb them into thinking my mother was the sweetest woman in the world. Now, how does this tie into the subject at hand? Narcissists have normalized the toxic behavior of my mother and my ex Susie, and your ex and your mother or father. They have normalized it so much so many people in society are putting a price tag on relationships, saying if men don't make at least $100,000 a year, they shouldn't date or even consider a relationship of any kind. When the simple fact is, there are some men and women that can work their entire lives and never make $100,000 a year. So what society is saying? Unless you are able to show up to a relationship and ready to love bomb. Yes. Ready to behave like a narcissist. Then you shouldn't even consider meeting someone else. Which means essentially this person will be alone for the rest of their life. It seems like every aspect of not only society, but people's relationships, their one-on-one relationships in society, is dictated by narcissism and behaving as if you are too a narcissist. Yes. Money is important. We need it to survive in this world. But now we have moved to this delusional way of thinking. If you can't afford to live and move like a movie star or professional athlete, then you shouldn't even consider a relationship. Which is insane thinking. But this is being talked about in the mainstream as a real thing. And people are agreeing with this mindset. Which should tell you something really, really important. Narcissists are covertly getting their agenda through. People are getting hypnotized by what the narcissist is saying is right and good, while ignoring what is truly right and good. This is why I say, if you want to have a productive relationship with someone, sit down and talk with them. You don't have to do this on the first few dates when getting to know them. But if it turns into a conversation at some point of what are we? Are we formally together or what is happening? And you want to establish such a relationship, I think besides boundaries such as none of this going to the bar or nightclub alone mess, or hanging out with exes, those days are done. And if they aren't, that isn't the person for you. But besides all of that, you should talk about financial health, such as not getting trapped up and wrapped up in this world's version of happiness, barely able to pay rent, but charging a ring or necklace at the jewelry store because you are buying a gift for your spouse for so-called Valentine's Day. If the person you're with really cares about you, they would be able to see in the distance and realize that saving and investing is a bit more important. Now, I'm not saying, if money is plentiful and you've been with someone for a while, and you are moved to buy such a gift for your spouse, to not do it. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. If things are going well, your money situation is good and so is theirs, and you know them well and they know you well, and you know they aren't with you for the sake of money, And you really want to shock them in a good way on a special day. Hey, go for it. But such a thing shouldn't be a make or break thing where you are with this person or not. But society has messed things up so badly that people no longer look for character, honesty, loyalty, decency, love, and faith in the Most High. They are looking for who can buy them this or who can buy them that. And if someone can't buy them this or that, they will discard them like a sack of potatoes. Literally. As some of you may know, I mentioned I've been watching a lot of these cheating shows, where the cheating spouse gets caught. Now, no matter if these shows are real or fake or semi-scripted, the scenarios are pretty close and accurate to how things were and are in real life. There was one where this woman was with this man for 20 years. Supported him. Paid his bills. Paid for their home. So forth and so on. And she was willing to look past the fact that her man had just cheated on her. Yet he still treated her like dirt. He almost acted like all that she did wasn't good enough. You just can't make this stuff up. Same with the men that get cheated on. Either the women say they did it because he was never there, because he was working to buy her the things she so-called wants. But then there were men that were on hard times, and always around, that got cheated on because they didn't have enough money. And this is narcissism. You can never win with the crazy logic of a narcissist. Either you aren't doing this or you aren't doing that in their eyes. But this twisted logic has now gone mainstream. And it's gone mainstream because it allows the narcissist to keep control over the masses. All the while they drain them of their money so they won't be a threat or competition for their wealth. Think about it. There's a day every few months that you are expected to buy an expensive gift for another person. And each year the expectations get higher and higher and higher. Now, if you are an average earning person, how can you ever get ahead? That's right. You can't. You can't. And the top narcissists know. The only way to really make this evil thing of theirs successful is to embed it into every part of society. They love to see people throw away great people or spouses simply because they didn't get that expensive watch and some stranger that cares nothing about them offered to buy them what they wanted. The top narcissists love seeing such things, because they realize they have truly engineered the breakdown of society and people's moral character. And that's the problem right there. And many can't see it right in front of their own eyes. Much like Noah in the Bible. Warned the people in his area for years and years of what was to come. And they all basically called him crazy and continued partying and being wicked and evil towards one another. And guess what happened? The flood came and they didn't make it. But Noah and his family did. This is why this information is so important. Look. Here's the thing. If I have it, I love giving gifts to those I care about. I love it. It feels good inside to see someone's face light up with joy because of something you made for them or something you bought for them. But before we get to that place in our one-on-one relationships, we have to first enjoy each other's company and develop a common bond that has nothing to do with gift giving. Because there are sadly many that follow the modern-day model of relationships, where every few months they put themselves into debt to keep up with this holiday or that holiday. Then, when there is no more credit to take out, and no more money because one or both are going through money troubles, guess what happens? That's right. The relationship completely falls apart. Cheating happens. The narcissist discard or monkey branching happens. And the one that was truly in love gets left in the dust by the one that was just there for what they could get. But like I said before, if you sit down and talk about boundaries towards the beginning, you might be shocked to see where this person's mind and heart is truly at. Because you see, narcissists and non-narcissists alike are so used to things just flowing. Meaning people don't question what they do and their motives in such relationships. At least in the beginning stages. and if you want to have a good chance at really seeing the truth of things. And if the person is a narcissist, or a narcissist light, or someone just swept up in today's societal ways, have one of these serious conversations at the beginning stages of seriously dating someone. Sure, for the first little while, there's probably no need to talk about such things. But if you have gotten to the point where you are having the "what are we" talk, that is probably a great time to bring such topics up. And if they fight you and argue and try to make you seem like you are crazy, it's probably a good idea to leave. Because here's the thing. Most people in the world have had some sort of hurt. Relationships these days are a mess. So there is a good chance someone has dealt with heartache, and pain, and being cheated on, so forth and so on. If a woman came to me and said, this is what she expects, that she wants to get to know me for me, and same in return, and that she didn't feel comfortable dating a man that was at the bars late at night, and hanging out with his exes, because she knows from past experience it leads to trouble, I would be pleasantly happy. And I would agree with her. But if she were to bring up such a topic to someone else that has different values or that is in a different place in his life, he might call her crazy. He might say hanging out with his ex is no big deal, so forth and so on. Well, at that point, there is nothing else for this woman to say, except, I respect your feelings on such matters, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm glad we are talking about this on month 1 or month 2. Not 5 years later. Because you see, if more people start to push back on this behavior, the more this behavior won't be the norm, the more it would be seen as abnormal, strange, and not desirable. Yet, today we live in a broken society, with broken people. Yet people are still doing their best to try to take part in all they see that is wrong and broken, simply because they don't want to be left out. And that's how narcissists train their children, especially the golden child. The golden child oftentimes becomes the golden child because they don't want to miss out on what they see as love, when it's nothing more than manipulation. You see, the people that in society that are pushing such evil onto you don't love you. They don't even care about you. And the truth is, they hope you destroy yourself, even though they push a message of care and love and unity. Look at society and what do you see? Division and evil. Who is sowing this division and evil? Could it be the narcissists at the top that make all of the big choices for you and I? I don't know. I am just saying. And narcissists are afraid of this knowledge being passed around, because they love seeing people just as broken, just as destroyed as they are. They don't want you to receive God's love and His blessing. They don't want you to understand. Hey, 2 people making average money, if they put their heads together, they might be able to invest correctly and live an awesome life. The devil will do his best to keep you from seeing blessings that are right in front of your face. There might be someone that will love you until the end of your life right in front of you. Someone that you are attracted to. Someone with good character. Someone with a great sense of humor. But because they can't buy you the latest whatever, you look right past them. That is the devil working in your life by making you value what society wants you to value, not what God has taught you to value through His Word. The good thing is, there are some people pushing back, and some people waking up, and I'm happy to see it. But we must keep going, and we must do our work to make sure we figure out who is bad for us and who is good for us early on, because our time is valuable. So have these talks with someone you are getting close to, and see what happens. Do they fight you? Or do they understand where you are coming from? Their reaction will tell you a lot. And please slow things down. Don't jump to the first thing you hear and see. And we'll be talking more about that later. Well, that's all I have for today. Please leave your comments below as usual. I enjoy reading them as they spark more things for us to talk about. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. And for those that are donating, I appreciate you all. And those that wish you could but can't, I appreciate you just the same. Because you all make this channel go round and round. I truly mean that. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.